Welcome to Hook and Look Splash, a splash of angling information with an underwater point of view. This week's splash is in regards to presenting a weightless Strike King Ocho stickworm and the effects that different line types and diameters have on this rig's fall rate.
I'm starting to have fun now. Right in the nose. Boy, that's a... Get out of there. Huh? Right where he should have been. It's kind of hard to beat. Once again, what I'm throwing is the Ocho, which is the perfect plastics line of Strike King stickworm. They call it the Ocho because it's got 8 sides. It's actually an octagon. But when it falls through the water, it looks alive. And then I'm twitching it a little bit and then dropping it. Twitching it, dropping it. And again, I'm using that little finesse hook. 8-pound test fluorocarbon for a leader and 10-pound test braid on a medium heavy spinning rod. That's the deal today. When finesse fishing with spinning equipment, I prefer to combine the ease of casting and no stretch properties of braided line with the transparency, abrasion resistance, and density of fluorocarbon line. When presenting a weightless stickworm like the Strike King Ocho, the fall speed is critical. Different kinds of fishing lines and different line diameters exhibit different fall rates. Danny jumped in the water in an effort to document the similar characteristics of an assortment of fishing lines.
I'm in the water out here comparing the different fall rates to different lines. And our base, our standard that we use on the show, is an 8-pound fluorocarbon tipped on a 10-pound braid. 10-pound monofilament, however, has a similar diameter, but it's slightly less dense. So it actually sinks just a little bit slower than the fluorocarbon.
I was actually surprised at how similar it did sink as compared to the fluorocarbon.
When using just braid's a really buoyant line, and actually the Ocho is what drags that line down.
Although braided line is buoyant, this 10-pound test braid has a very small diameter like 2-pound test fluorocarbon, and in fact sank pretty good. It did, however, reflect a lot of light and was more visible.
The 17-pound fluorocarbon sank pretty comparable to the 8-pound fluorocarbon, but just a little slower because of the bigger diameter of the line.
I'll use 17-pound test fluorocarbon when I cast weightless stickworms in heavy cover and need the added strength.
17-pound monofilament, on the other hand, holds a lot of memory in the line. You can see it in the water. And because of its larger diameter and it's less dense, it really slowed the bait down.
The thicker diameter monofilament line had the slowest fall rate of all the lines we experimented with. Bottom line is, fluorocarbon line or leader is your best option for presenting weightless soft plastics.
To view additional Splash podcasts, simply visit hookandlook.com.